Welcome back to the CNN Newsroom. I'm Rick Sanchez. In hip-hop, well, keeping it real can mean a lot of different things. Some call it a very raw language. If it's too real or raw for kids, who should act as gatekeepers? Well, maybe the DJs would be a good place to start. So we got two of them, two DJs who are joining us right now. Corey Hill from JAMN 94.5 joins us from Boston. There he is. Good to see
Rick.
you, Mr. Hill. Also, Greg Street from radio station V103 in Atlanta joins us here in the studio. Let's get right to it. Greg, let's start with you. You're here. A lot of people would say, why are you playing this music? Why are you making my kids listen to this stuff with some of the outrageousness that's involved in it?
Well, we at V103, we monitor a lot of the music that we play, and a lot of songs are day-parted. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of radio stations around the country program their music a lot according to research, and a lot of programmers don't understand that some songs.
Do you decide what songs go on your radio station?
Some of them. A lot of DJs don't. A lot of DJs go strictly by what's programmed through programming.
Can you decide, you know what, that's a nasty song, I'm not going to let my viewers listen, or my listeners hear that song?
But normally my boss will come to me first and say, I don't think we need it.
And who's that? That's a program director?
Reggie Rouse.
Same situation. Is that same situation for you, Greg? You there, Greg? I'm sorry. Corey, are you there?
I'm right here, Rick. What's up, Greg?
I got your names mixed up. I apologize. Corey, do you decide what songs you play?
I'm similar situation to Greg. I mean, some songs I get to determine whether I play them or whether or not. But, you know, to back up what Greg said, you know, all these radio stations across the country spend hundreds of thousands of dollars researching certain songs and, you know, when they should be played and if they should be played. So to a certain extent, you know, 10% of what I play, yeah, I have influence on. The 90 is not in my hands.
Do you have songs where you decide, you know what, this is nasty. I should not be, this song should not be on our air. And do you feel comfortable enough walking into your program director's office and saying, guys, I'm really uncomfortable with this music. We shouldn't put this kind of music on the air because it could have an influence on our kids? Well,
the good thing about radio, and Greg can back me up on this, is, you know, all of our songs are edited. Some for content, definitely all the foul language is definitely edited out. So there's not any song on my radio station that I don't feel comfortable playing at this point in time.
Well, you know, some of these songs, and, you know, maybe you can help me here, Greg, you know, the B word that we hear of so much, you know, that rhymes with itch. It's a way of referring to women.
Right.
You know, the other way of referring to women is prostitutes, but with a much nastier word. I mean, I don't want my kid listening to that kind of stuff.
I work for CBS, for Viacom CBS, and after the situation happened with Janet Jackson at the Super Bowl, I mean, they're on us constantly about music, constantly about the content of songs. So, you know, we at V103, we happen to be the only major market station in the world, in the country, that has double-digit numbers. So we make sure we research our music correctly.
So some of that stuff is taken out?
All of it's taken out.
Corey, yours too?
Definitely. No B word, no H word, nothing like that.
And you're still viable competitively? I mean, economically, you're able to beat the other station. Are there stations that don't bleep that stuff out?
No, that's against the rules. There is a window. After 10 p.m., the rules do open up a little bit as far as the FCC is concerned. Mm-hmm. As far as we're concerned here in Boston at JAMN 94.5 WJMN, our rules apply all day, every day.
But the message gets through even after you bleep it, though, right? I mean,
yeah, because
it's still denigrating women. It's still reinforcing violence. That's a problem.
But what it is the world is a ghetto.
Yeah.
And rappers write movie scripts. Rappers write TV shows. They write about what go on in their communities. Mm-hmm. If you Google the top violent movies and see what comes up on the screen, if you Google the top TV shows on daytime television, you watch the content, rappers are rapping about what's going on in the world every day. Drugs, violence, sex, cars, jewelry. That's what's going on.
So what they're doing is they're telling a story that too often has been ignored by the rest of us in the mainstream media.
Well,
right?
It's not been ignored because everybody goes to the movie theaters and we watch it. I mean, a woman takes her shirt off on the Jerry Springer show every day to get Jerry beads. Maury talks about women who don't know who their baby daddies is every day on TV, on daytime TV.
But does it need, Corey, I'll get back to you. Does it need to be so graphic to tell a story? I mean, if this is the poetry of an inner city, does the poetry need to be so nasty?
Well, to some people it's nasty, and to some people it's not. I mean, for the person that doesn't live in that environment, is not familiar with that environment, doesn't have any friends or family that's in that environment on a daily basis, of course it's going to sound crazy, but the true reality
But what environment? You know what? Because let me tell you something. I don't think this is a black-white thing. Because
not at all.
All my friends all my African-American friends who I play basketball with and play golf and do all the other old boring stuff with, when we sit around talking about our kids' music, whether it's their kids or my kids, we all say, I don't get it. Why do they want to listen to that stuff? We don't get it. Make us understand why our kids are so enthused with this stuff.
What it is your T.I.s and your Jeezys and your Yin Yang Twins and your Franchise Boys and your D4Ls and your Rick Ross and your Trick Daddies. They're nothing more than the new Rick James, the new Little Richards, the new. They're the new guys.
Did Little Richard go that far? I mean, Elvis shook his hips and they took him off TV.
Prince did. Prince talked about sex in all his records. Rick James talked about smoking marijuana, Mary Jane, and talked about sex.
And take it even a step further. The Beatles, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
They were talking about drugs.
Exactly.
So the message has been that bad ever since. It's just that now it seems a little more. It does seem more outrageous to the rest of us.
It's really a problem now because rappers. They're making publishing money. Budweiser is giving Jay-Z $1.5 million to shoot a video.
But, you know, the question here, and this is what we're going to be getting to later on, is where is the emphasis on doing these type of outrageous songs? And it seems to me, you know, there's an old expression that we've all heard, follow the money. And that's what we're going to do. Gentlemen, Corey, Greg, thanks for being with us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot for having us.
No, it's great. We appreciate the information. We're going to talk about that and Kids Speak Out as well on hip-hop and society as we continue.